How is everyone doing? They are waiting on us. All right, all right. Love it. Love, love, love. Well, welcome again to Roland's Reviews, backed by popular demand. Miss Prosperity, Mr. Tawan Stewart, Mr. Black. So, hey, when you're good, you have to keep coming back. That's just how it goes, okay? And so we want to welcome each of you to the show. We know that you have lots of pertinent information that you're going to share with us, and we are down for it. As you fill up the room, please, please, please go ahead. Hit that like button. If you enjoy this content, I'm going to have Miss Prosperity to drop her channel link. Mr. Blackson, I want him to drop his channel link. Tawan Stewart Lee, I want you to drop your channel link. If you enjoy this content, you make sure you subbed up to their channels as well, because they have some excellent information, just like this channel. We all do have trying to reach the same goal, folks. And so we're going to welcome everyone. I'm going to do the roll call, and we're going to get to the topic, the subject matter at hand, and we're going to let you go. We're going to let you know how we do when we get Chicago, Chi-Town on here. We just let them go until they're done, and we don't have any time limits. How you doing, Miss Prosperity?
I am well. Thank you very much for having me. Also, my buddy, my partner in goodness out here. When I'm gonna say goodness, because I don't use them other words. So yeah, we working it. We got different ways in how we working things, but we come together and we making it happen.
Yes, I agree. Mr. Tawan, how are you?
I'm awesome. Just a little, I want to say tired. It's been a battle over here in Chicago, just dealing with that. And so I'm okay. I'm fighting the good fight, I suppose.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Mr. Tawan, have you shared this on your various forms of social media so we can bring some of your audience into the live chat?
Okay, one moment. Let me see.
Okay. While you're doing
I was going to say, y'all got to check out Taiwan's channel because he has some hot stuff from Chicago.
Yeah, I want him to drop his channel link, and I want him to bring some of his people, bring them on in so we can get the conversation started. All right. Mr. Blackson, how you doing?
How you doing? How you doing? It's blessed to be here. I'm honored to be amongst the guests. Chi-Town in the house. Yo, let's do it. We one day away.
It's coming. It's coming.
Two.
48 hours.
48.
Prosperity. I want this nightmare to hurt be over with.
Oh, you ain't said nothing but a word.
You think you're ready? You know I'm tired. Woo!
Tired.
As the old folk used to say.
Not tired.
Tired. Woo! Truth bomb, the first truth bomb of the day. Let's go ahead and do our roll call, and then we're going to get started, get this fire started. Chicago residents, let me do roll call first. All right. We know Diane Barnes is here. Alley Cat, Chicago Hood, how are you? Cha-Cha, Laurie's here. Monique is here, of course. Florida, couldn't do it without you, love. Lisa, Baldwin Birds, everyone who's here. There's several, CJ Park, several people who are here. Andrew, a lot of you are here. You haven't typed anything. You haven't sent an emoji. If you want me to call your name, just say something, send an emoji. So let's go ahead and look at this title. As we just stated, election day is quickly coming upon us. Chicago residents speak out against Democrats, vow to flip Chicago red. I am standing in unison with Miss Prosperity, with Mr. Tawan Stewart, with all of the Chicago residents who are doing what they can to make this happen. We know everything that they've done to the residents of Chicago. Folks, as I told you, don't sit back on your heels, on your laurels, and think that's not affecting me. it will eventually affect you. I've already told you I don't live in a sanctuary city, but one city over, about 5 minutes away, the city council was just talking about making Fayetteville, North Carolina, a sanctuary city. So don't sit back. You can't afford to do that, folks. It's too important. I've already voted. I think some of you in the chat have already said that you have as well. Make sure you get your people, your family, your friends, co-workers out to vote. This is the most important election of the 21st century. As I've been talking to Blackson and Miss Prosperity, if we don't win this election, this country is done. Now, what we want to talk about today, we know how awful and how hideous the Democrats are. I've been talking to Miss Prosperity, and you know, I've been keeping up. I told you, she knows I'm on top of what's going on in Chicago, and I want her to continue to share everything that they are doing in an attempt to stifle their voices, in an attempt to continue to abuse the people of Chicago and to misuse the people of Chicago. So we're going to start with Miss Prosperity because she has a lot to say. And then Mr. Taiwan, you as well. Hey, chime in. Tell us what is going on in Chicago.
Well, I know you all seen the headlines about our city budget for 2025.
Wow.
And how we already had an expectation that once this became a functional sanctuary city, and the reason why I say functional is because it was by name.
Right.
But a lot of people didn't know that. And a lot of people don't even know that the state is a sanctuary state.
Mm-hmm.
But Chicago has been impacted the worst because many others who are primarily in the red portions of the state have been pushing back, fighting back. But then we have our own folks here in Chicago who've been writing blue no matter who. And then I'm quite sure you all heard that little song that went out that we had started up down there at City Hall. Go red.
Go red.
No matter who, go red, go red. So we did that right there in front of the committee that actually sponsors this sanctuary city stuff.
Yes.
Wow.
So it just came out of nowhere.
Yes,
but because we have primarily been a blue city for over 6 decades, and I call it a lack of knowledge, a lack of understanding, a lack of getting off of that freaking mainstream news media crap and look at around you. Look, hear what people are saying around you, because people are just not talking just to be talking. And I wasn't involved with any of this either until this sanctuary city stuff came to bang. But let me just add this part. So Brandon Johnson, the person that those folks vote for called mayor, he the one put in executive order 2023-16 that was telling folks that came from the South, being Black folks, FBAs, or what have you, that you're going to have to tolerate this because they're coming to your neighborhood. So now the coming to your neighborhood part is like, oh, hell no. Forgive me, Lord. Oh, no. You got a problem. It ain't Houston. It's Chicago right now got the problem. So I'm taking my little journey on down there to City Hall.
Oh, wow.
And saying, I want a piece of this.
Right.
Because see, those tax dollars that I have earned,
that's right.
And I went down there on another occasion too, telling them that I'm not paying taxes to pay these folks.
Facts.
Let's get this real clear. Come here. Let's make it real clear. I'm not paying taxes to pay these folks.
No.
My taxes are designed for citizens that need help right here.
Right
here. So when I talked about holding back on them tithes and those offerings for those places that decide they want to support that, holla, see ya, Goodbye, because that's not where my tax dollars are going to.
Right.
So if I don't have a choice of them taking tax dollars away from me, I got something better for you. I tell you what, I'll sit it out. You can't get no taxes if I don't make no income.
Mm.
Facts. Taxation without representation.
Exactly.
Right.
Well, I'm not going to get any until I know my man up in this office. Then I'm going to go back into my investments, making my figures and everything else, because you can't collect what you can't get.
Facts.
And I'm not doing it illegally.
Right.
Because you got to have the income to get the taxes out, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So therefore, I said I'm going to the fight. And the fight is here in Chicago, where they have allowed all these people to come in here. And as I've also stated from day one, the first time I got on the mic down there at City Hall, which was December 14th, 2023, I said that I support legal migration. I do not support illegal migration.
No.
Now, if people feel like that's prejudice or what have you, that's their problem, not mine.
Right.
Because see, if I done something illegal, where would I end up?
Jail.
Thank you.
Say that.
So I'm going to speak the facts. I'm going to speak the truth, because legal migration means people who want to come here, people who not only just want to come here, but they want to make a difference here. People who are bringing something to the table. They want to be a part of society.
Right.
They want to be a part of something working. And a lot of people who come here illegally, they don't. It's like, gimme something. Okay.
Gimme. Facts. Where's the lie? Where's the lie? She's spitting nothing but truth. Because we've been conversing back and forth on the phone. She's just as upset as I am as a tax-paying American, right?
Exactly.
My money on Americans. That's the issue.
And see, so many people don't get this. And we still have an opportunity for those who have voted this in to make things right. And I'm going to call it out.
You call it.
Because when you vote in this mess, we have a last opportunity right now to start with voting in Republican. I am a conservative. I've been a conservative for over a decade. And now I'm going to clarify that, a decade and a half, going on 2. And that I'm not a newbie with this. Right. I'm not going to sit here and fake like, oh, well, I've been riding on this train for a minute and now I'm switching over. No, I'm riding this train life and death.
Yes, ma'am.
Because it is what it is. And it's just like a person who actually does one thing and they live their life a certain way one day, and then all the other days they somebody else.
Hypocrite.
Let's talk about who you really are. So that's why I said, starting here in Chicago, we had this budget thing that's going on. $300 million and property tax increase to avoid workforce cuts. To avoid it. Okay, so let's talk about those workforce cuts. Because a lot of times I can tell you 311 or my ticket that I put in called a service request. Right. I want my services for my taxes that I have contributed.
Facts.
On top of that, when your neighbors are not paying their fair share of taxes, let me call it out, because see, they got security on me when I was down there at the assessor's office with my husband, talking about they gonna kick me out. When you kick me out with my goddamn taxes, Lord, and then we can go.
Yeah, right. You don't take my taxes, I won't come down here anymore.
Right. Okay.
Hey, solved.
Right. I'm going to give y'all a little snippet too to help any of you others out here that have homes. Check your property description. Yes, because I wouldn't busted them out and caught them in a lie.
Ooh.
Twice. They have changed my property's description of all the things that I'm supposed to have in my home, which increases the property taxes.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah, they did it. So I went down there and I talked to the COE, well, the COE manager, and I heard her tell the guy, well, just change was not going to affect her taxes. No, see, because when you change a description, you're changing my taxes. How is it that when you build a property that's been built nearly 100 years ago, and you know that the architect is going to be primarily the same on most of the layouts of a single family home?
Right.
How the hell did those darn properties get cheaper than mine when they're building up? See, I say, hey, I'll call some addresses out because see, I ain't trying to pay your freaking taxes.
That's it.
I got my own. Not to mention, based on your salary, how much they're gonna hit you up for that.
Hey,
you better federal taxes, property taxes.
Tell it.
All these taxes, tax. But then you start seeing, well, one property is going lower, but they just had a full massive rehab.
Okay.
Rehab ain't go down in value. Your rehab went up in value. Let's talk about some property. Because see, I was in that field too.
Oh, wow.
Doing inspections. Oh yeah, I got in the dirt. So this is why I said, nah, y'all can't play this game. So I just told my husband, I said, come on down here to the census office with me. You're gonna see what I deal with. You're gonna see what I deal with. And how they don't like me down here. I ain't trying to be liked. I want to be respected.
That's right.
Right.
Because liking don't pay my bills. Liking don't put nothing on my table. But that respect, you will understand that I'm not about that BS. I'm not about that game.
Say that.
No, that's it. No, hey, prosperity. No bull sugar.
Okay. Just 100. Y'all, let me tell you, this is what I'm on. I'm amped up on tea that relaxes me, not build me up. I don't need caffeine. Caffeine ain't for me. Right. This is natural energy because it's always something going on. That's why I got on my clothing to remind me that I'm not fighting flesh and blood. These demons.
Yeah.
So I got to remember what I'm going up against. The enemy comes in every form, shape, and color. Race too.
Facts.
Every one of them, even our own. So now let's get back. 570 million in TIF surplus, mainly for CPS, Chicago Public Schools. 145 million in federal COVID relief money for community investment. But last year was 90 million. Where did 90 million go from last year? That was for that. Okay.
We know where it went.
Okay. 3.2% increase in fiscal year 2025 spending over fiscal year 2024. Let's talk about homelessness. Oh, you know, I'm getting ready to let somebody break that out. Duo shelter. So now we want to bring, because we don't get as many as according to what Brandon Johnson says, that he wants to bring them and combine them with our American citizens that are homeless.
Of course.
Combine the shelters. Mental health, give me a freaking break.
Right.
A lot of people got mental health issues, but they act like this is brand new here. No, we got mental health issues because you keep bleeping with our money.
Truth bomb. Say we wouldn't have all these mental health problems. You leave my money alone.
Okay. Small business support. That's another thing. Equal opportunity. Well, we know what his role was. His role was an equal opportunity because you ain't coming here with no skills. And let me tell you, I told that man, I told him on December 14th, if we don't have a voice up in here, we will have a voice out there. And I guarantee you, you ain't shutting me down.
No. Miss Prosperity. And I had a question for you too.
What's up?
And I've been saying this, if you go back, even before you and I linked up, I've been telling people, if I was in Chicago, the way what they're doing with your money and taking care of all these people who aren't citizens but still taking your tax money, I'm just saying, people need to protest and picket because that is not American. Hit the like button for me, folks. If you enjoy this,
say that.
if you go back and look at my older videos, I've been saying the people of Chicago especially need to protest and need to picket, because that is not right. And Miss Prosperity, what you're talking about now he's wanting to combine. Excuse me, sir, you haven't been trying to help American citizens. You were only helping migrants. Stop it. And every time they say they're going to do something, they try to say they're doing it for everyone. We're not stupid. You're going to do it for the migrants, but you're trying to get everyone on board. So
right.
Exactly.
No.
Exactly. So $1 billion deficit that our city is facing. You know, there wouldn't even been a deficit if they weren't splurging the funds for them.
Say that.
Okay. The last time that there was a deficit of $588 million was in 2015 with Rahm Emanuel as the mayor.
Oh my God.
Now here he comes with $1 billion. What does that say? That's about double.
Yeah.
About double. Right?
It.
Right. Okay. Yep. So let's go back to city council talking about in April of 2024, where they voted 30-18 for $70 million more to go to the illegals. So we're talking about 48 million came from the federal and state grants.
Oh my God.
So the expectation in a ballpark is probably about $321 million. But we in a deficit. And you know what I'll tell you? Between the governor, the board commissioner, as well as the mayor, a lot of them, they're not on the same page.
No.
You can tell body language. You can tell the talk that happens, that they want to just go at each other. I'm trying to keep my words real simple here, because y'all know I'm gonna have to repent after this. Y'all know I am. Y'all know I am. You know, I talk about that repentance because I tell y'all I ain't perfect and I have no patience.
None of us are. So you say what you have to say, sister. Prosperity.
Okay. Now let's talk about those property taxes going up 4% increase for next year. Now that's on top of the new amount that's been assessed for 2025. 4% on top of that. So let me see. They want to get another $40,000 out of me.
Woo!
Then 4% of that. Cook County Board of Review. Guess who coming to you? Because that's where I went. When a lot of people got rejection letters when they went to contest their property taxes. You could be right, but they still contested and denied the relief.
Ms. Prosperity, please tell everyone what happens when you can't pay your, we talked about this. Please tell them what happens when you cannot pay your property taxes.
When you cannot pay your property taxes, happy-go-luckies come in and be a little leech off of, hey, I'll buy your property for X amount of dollars. I'll get your property for now. It don't matter where you gotta go, because you gone. We'll even clean your house for you. You ain't gotta do nothing. I'm just speaking how they speak to you. You know, because that's how we supposed to only understand the barrier of language called English. You know, you don't have to clean out anything. We'll clean it out for you. We'll come over and, you know, we'll do repairs. You don't have to do no repairs. But I'm going to get your property for about a few dollars. But let's talk about the equity in the property.
Tell it.
See, when you paying $10, $20, maybe $100 for a property, remember, those taxes are essential to pay and fight them. F-I-G-T, fight. F-I-G-H-T, fight. Right. Reason why I tell you that is because I went far back to, see, now they tell you they only go back 3 years. Let me tell y'all some tricks of the trade. I went back to 2018 from 2024. Is that 3 years? No. I brought in facts, proof, and they had to reimburse me all my money back. And there was several thousands of dollars.
Oh, wow.
But Now let's come on now to 2024, where they're like, oh, well, we're going to change your property description and we're going to increase your value. So you got to pay this money back. The devil is a lie. Because I can prove any and everything. See, one thing about this, I had a house fire in 2020.
Right.
No, 2000. My apologies. 2000. I drafted a blueprint on how I want this house designed back. Because again, I have knowledge in real estate.
Right.
So if I drafted a blueprint, got the software, drafted it myself, I placed where I want everything listed at in the property. From my piping to my electrical to everything. My lightings, I want the sun in one room. I want darkness in another room. I got a prayer room. Okay, any of that. I just did all of that. Now you gonna come tell me what I got up in my house?
Right.
I supposed to put a full finished family room down in my basement and all this. I'm like, really? Where did that come from? Oh, my house done raised up. Yeah, it raised up with the Lord, but not with no physicalness.
Oh my God.
This is why you gotta watch these people.
You better.
Because they are lie. They straight out lie. They'll change your property description. Look at everything. Look at the air conditioning. Look at the bathrooms. Because, Pritzker took out his bathroom so he can lower his taxes. That happens to be the governor of Illinois.
Oh, wow.
So they also will make all kinds of changes that you need to watch and be very watchful for. Because those little things that you think don't mean anything, it start raising your value. The value that don't really apply to your home, but it applies to those taxes.
Yep.
Because show how a person sees your house as a buyer. How do you see your house as a seller?
Right.
Now, how do you see your house as an assessor? Assessor's going to always be higher.
Right. Assessment.
Right.
Facts.
So you got to pay attention to those little intricate details because that also can help to lower your taxes.
Right.
Okay.
Now,
so I got that refund.
You got
2018, 2021, but now here we go. Now they doing a reassessment and then they want to collect it all back. So I become the buddies with the Cook County Board of Review. I drop down there when I drop into City Hall. Hey, it's me again. What's up with my taxes? PIN number. Yeah, they got to know me down there because I'm gonna stay on them. Yeah, and this is where people don't get it and they end up having to pay the consequences. You gotta stay consistent, persistent, and continuously stay up in that tail. You cannot let off until you get what is yours. Do you know everybody don't have everything that they want because they won't stand and fight for anything?
That's facts.
You have to get up and you got to take charge of your life and you have to go for what you believe is right and come in with them facts. Just like when people come into these chats and they want to start throwing out them little comments and Blackson had to jump on them. Okay, Blackson, I'm like right here on the other side of you. Like, yeah, bring them facts. Bring the facts because anything else ain't nothing but blah, 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 blah.
Right.
And they're not trying to hear you and they don't have respect for you. They
Say
won't
that.
hear you.
Say that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get on some other stuff, but I'm turning it over to Taiwan because he got some good stuff too.
Go ahead. All right, it's all good. Hit the like button, folks. Share the stream out. Go ahead, Mr. Taiwan.
Hey, how's it going? How's it going this evening? So
great.
Let's say that everything that she said is valid. We dealing with right now a financial. I want to say
crisis.
More than the crisis. I don't, for lack of better words, that's the best word to use, crisis. However, this is different. We've dealt with certain situations. We've dealt with immigrants coming into the country and whatnot, but this is different. This isn't immigration. This isn't immigrants seeking refuge or asylum. This isn't people that came so let's say the first time the Ukraine thing happened, we had a large influx of immigrants coming into the city of Chicago. However, not like this. They came through portways or they came through the airport, and there wasn't so many people. It was probably up to a few thousand people, if that. Right now, it's 47,200 illegal people here in the city of Chicago. By what? How did they? And so this was. Wait, this is funny to me though. Because our mayor he's out for Greg Abbott. So let's read what Greg Abbott is doing for Texas. It says Greg Abbott is fighting for Texas families, Texas values by creating jobs and defending our constitutional rights and freedoms. Now, if we had that in Brandon Johnson here in Chicago, just a portion of that right now, I believe that we wouldn't be looking at $1 billion debt shortfall.
Yep.
I believe that our school system wouldn't be in the situation it is right now. CTU and CPS, they might as well be rival gangs. And right in the midst of it, causing all of the friction is Brandon Johnson, the demigod of Chicago. That's what I'm seeing him as right now. And it's a lot because he refuses to be accountable. And it's almost like it's personal to hold you accountable for your position. You wanted to be elected in this position. Vallis was up. Vallis could have got in there. Hey, let him deal with these situations. Let him deal with the fact that we had X amount of illegal people who would not vet it come into this city out of nowhere. Let them deal with the fact that for some reason y'all just switch gears and totally look towards these people to give them preferential treatment. Forget the residents, forget the Americans. Oh no, forget instantly. And I'm wondering, was it the surplus of federal funding that was given to the city that automatically made these people concerned for the new arrivals? Or was it the fact that, hey, we can line our pockets a little bit more? Because this legacy of corruption here in Chicago is for real. When you sit in that city council, it's almost like spirits. Seriously, these people, it's like they being guided by greed and corruption. Guided, it's like it's almost out of their will. Some people you will look at you. When I first got there, I thought that CJO, I'm not going to disparage anybody's name, but let's just say that I assumed that our representation had our better interests at heart. But that's not the case at all. That was not the case at all. That's not the case at all. We realize that now in the promises that Brandon Johnson made, he promised to decommission ShotSpotter. He kept that promise, which plunges the city into another level of chaos. However, he also promised to not raise property taxes. He said, look, so and he didn't keep that promise. Because we see right now, just in the last budget, and he did it. He tried to do it in such a jovial way when he was presenting it. He was like in Chicago. He was like in Chicago's becoming a new innovative, technological. And but what about the taxpayers? Taxpayers sitting in the crowd like, did you just say another 3%? Everybody looking at each other like, wait, did he just say another property tax hike? Did he just shoot that on us? And everybody looking at each other, but he's still talking. Yeah, and we're just moving it, and we're moving. Are you out your mind, man? You telling me, look, we said, and look, prosperity. Look, you was in that room when they sat in there, and like you said, voted 32 to minus 32 to what? Y'all assessed from every angle how this might work out and how it won't work out. It proved that it was not going to work out. Alderman Beal stood up in the room and said, look, man, 6 months ago, we sat in this room and did this. And I told y'all we'll be right back at this point in May. And where they was at? Right back in this room in May, trying to get more money for the situation that we didn't put ourselves in. And it's killing me here. I think for all the world that we work for them, that every that's tax dollars that we make, that as soon as your tax dollar come in, it's automatically entitled to them. It comes to us, we're entitled to it. We're gonna manage the money. Y'all managing us into a hole. And we got a dictator in Brandon Johnson who is the shot spotter promise versus this, oh, I won't raise taxes, and you ran off of these. But you were able to come to, you surely took ShotSpotter down September 22nd. However, this right when we just had this budget meeting, you weren't able to keep the other promise. Why? But this is the thing, that this is the smoke and mirrors, y'all. Brandon Johnson, long before, knew that he was going to raise property taxes. They've been talking about this in the form of what is called a circuit breaker tax. Exactly. They've been pitching this now for the last 60 days. Yep. But now all of a sudden I'm just so sorry that we have to raise. No, you've already pitched the circuit breaker in the last budget.
Right.
So we already knew we were going to see a property tax. You did what you did, the hiring freeze. All of this is smoke and mirrors. All of this is to make us feel like, oh, we're managing this. No, we're declining more and more and more and more, deeper and deeper. Financially, we're declining every day. Every day it's $1 billion plus, not counting the previous fiscal shortfalls. But every day it's $1 billion plus, and it's just him addressing certain issues. Like he just want to stop at that point. Oh, well, right now we're managing on our road to recovery. How do we get on this? Okay, if we're on the road to recovery, who drove us into this direction?
You know who they did.
Who drove us here? Who got us here? And so you refuse to be accountable for this part. No. It wasn't the fact that we just chose to spend to the point of what, $700-something million on people, on illegals.
Make it make sense. Make sense.
There's a gentleman sleeping, and I just interviewed him, and I was reluctant to do it too. But I just couldn't resist it, because it was like, this was why I'm here. This is why I'm here. I cannot not do this. I have to be courageous enough to approach this man and truly do this interview right now. This man is sleeping at the head of the city hall. He's sleeping right at Clark and Washington. Ex-Marine. This is not an ex-Marine, a Marine. A man. This is a gentleman who served our country, and with his service dog. So he has a service dog with him. The man is sleeping right at the curb of Clark and Washington. His name is Bossy. And I just got a little information from him. He said, hey, man, I'm out here because I can't get a shelter. He says the shelters won't accommodate my service dog. Wait, what?
Yeah.
We just built 20 new structures to accommodate people we don't even know. And a man that fought, served his country, can't have a reservation made for him. Make this make sense. They just made every reservation in the world. Make it make sense. They just put also all these resources, his resources more than likely, his blood and sweat more than likely that he paid into Social Security and all these different things.
Right.
And he's sleeping at the head of City Hall.
Make it make sense.
Because y'all want to accommodate his animal.
Any excuse will do when you're not, an illegal from another country. They have 1,000,001 excuses. And what you said before, I've been stating that there are veterans and we've had enough homeless people. We did not need to import any.
Oh, wow.
And so to bring in non-citizens and just rub it, like me and Miss Prosperity, we've been talking about, just rub it in your face. Yes, I'm doing this. What are you going to do? There's nothing you can do about it. And Mr. Blackson and I have talked about that as well. Yes, Chicago hood is despicable. It is. And it is. And again, they thought you were going to be okay with that.
Put it in executive order on top of that.
Right.
Say that.
How old is that?
Say that.
And so I again, Miss Prosperity, sometimes when we're talking on the phone, I get a little high strung, but I told her it just angers me as we talk about everything that they've done. And Miss Prosperity, I already told you, we know why. He was talking about the governor of Texas. Greg Abbott is doing what he's supposed to do for the citizens of Texas, his constituents that voted for him. Matter of fact, Brandon Johnson needs to go take a class with Governor
Abbott. Say that.
Because
Say that.
he's showing you that's what a governor's supposed to do. But we all know why Brandon can't do the same, because he's beholden to the Democratic Party, and he does not want the same treatment that Mr. Eric, what's his name?
That's right, Eric Adams.
Mr. Eric Adams. We all know what this is about, whether he wants to do it or not. He knows if he steps out of line, he will be under indictment as well.
And that might be so too, and I agree. But you can either get what Eric Adams got, or you can get what God got for you.
So you're gonna get it either way.
So it is no comparison. No comparison.
Not. And it's not.
But he goes around like he's this God-fearing man. He wants to have preachers, the teachers, to come on into the church hall, which is the meeting at the city hall, and then they want to give their whatever you want to call them, the prayer, whatever. I don't know. Taiwan, you can call it what you call it, but me myself, fake, phony, hypocrite. I ain't trying to hear it. Oh, I got some rhymes I can bust out for y'all, but I'm not trying to hear any of it, because see, that land is already soiled with evil. And this is because of the headship of it. The one that goes back to that private room and relief off of that panic attacks and so forth.
Yeah.
And why are you having panic attacks? So you don't have panic attacks unless you keep putting yourself in a position to get them.
Right.
And he knows. Oh, I'm getting ready to spit some numbers out for y'all now. Taiwan, can I throw into this now? Can I get to this?
Please.
Aldermen and mayors are getting raises, y'all.
Okay.
Let's hear about that. Let's talk about these numbers. Okay. So we got 48 older people, because they're women and men, that have accepted a 2.24% increase in their salaries for January 2025. And the mayor took a pay increase too. Now, that really hasn't happened since 2006, I believe it was, that the last mayor took one. They had up until September 15th to decline those raises. Well, where we at now? November 3rd. Yeah. So September 15th is gone. So he can deny it if he wants to, but that's not what actually had transpired, according to a lot of, and I'm going to say these sources that I get it from, they're very reliable.
Right.
Okay. Because I don't do one source. I do a compilation, and then I do the consensus, and then I'm going to come out with my figures.
Right.
Now, the aldermen, their new pay in 2025 would be $145,974. That included a 9.6% pay increase from last year. Now, you add that 2.24% that'll go into next year. But let me say, 48 accepted. I'm gonna get to the 2 who didn't. All right. So if that new pay is $145,974, that include that 9.6% pay increase plus another 2.24, the mayor will be getting $221,052 starting the beginning of next year.
Oh wow.
Part-time is what these people do. Part-time.
Oh boy.
Let's talk. Because what do they do? These people are born part-time, because you know what? Half the time you call these officers, you can't reach nobody.
That's right.
Say that. That's right.
Okay. Let's go down to the office. Oh, hey, are you coming to the meeting? Yeah, because I want you to vote against the sanctuary city. Hello? Oh, she's sick. Oh, she's not feeling well. Oh, this and that happened. Oh, yeah. Y'all got more excuses than an end going to jail.
Oh, God.
I can't take it. So with them coming with these excuses.
Oh, wow.
Why they don't show up. It's one in particular I can call out that every time it seems to be a vote or something that goes on. Where you at? Why aren't you here?
Oh, wow.
Oh, because I'm riding the fence. I'm playing it on this side for my constituents.
Oh, my God.
And then, even though I told my constituents, don't vote for him. But then I'm going to go up in here. Now, y'all ain't going to be talking about him like that. I'm quite sure they know who I'm talking about.
They know.
So he supposedly didn't take a pay raise, but he taking a pay raise. We already know. You know why we already know?
Oh, yeah.
Let's go to, this man is all about the dollars. That's all he about is the dollars. Wife furniture, $80,000.
Oh, wow.
What does she do? Besides being black.
Is that enough these days?
And yeah, because being black deserves to have an $80,000 furniture purchase off of our tax dollars.
DEI.
Let's talk about the donation he took from Dirk Banks, the murder for hire scheme. That's $150,000. They're telling him you better pay it back. Let me tell you, he on the same cycle as Sam Bankman-Friedman. Sam Bankman-Friedman was the same one that took my money and stole it out of these accounts when I was investing in crypto and that digital dollar currency. But see, I wasn't an investor in that. I was a angel investor. So those who invest in that, I'm gonna get my interest off of that. That's how I'm making my money.
Right.
Why he come and steal all the money and then they're gonna tell me they bankrupt? Nah, y'all ain't bankrupt.
Oh no,
you ain't bankrupt.
Oh no,
somebody gonna pay back my money.
Oh,
yeah.
Look at she got the camouflage on.
Help me, Lord.
Yes, we see you ready to this.
I got my money back.
Yes.
Good.
He was giving all that money off to the Democratic Party because his mother supported the Democratic Party.
Oh,
so on top of that, not only do you steal my money, you give it to a party that I don't even support.
Oh no.
Ooh.
We got issues.
Oh.
We got some issues. I said, no. Somebody gonna pay my money back.
Right.
I don't care where y'all gotta go get it. I don't care how you gotta go get it, but I know my money better come back.
Oh my!
And that's why I was talking about. I told y'all I had already lost about a good 20 grand. With the investments of Biden coming into office and flunking out our environment, our economy. But then this one over here, he had 20,000 of my money.
Oh my God!
So we're talking $40,000.
Woo!
When I loan is a loan. See, me and the Bible don't agree on a loan. I have contingencies. You pay that back unless I give it to you.
Yeah, facts. Oh my God.
So that's another thing. So now he's required. They're demanding that he pay that $150,000 back. But see, last year he also had taken on some interest of income where he was told, you need to pay that back. So this ain't the first time Brandon Johnson has done this.
Oh, wow.
Next, returning that campaign of money, it was about, and the $30,000 of the grooming, his hair off a place over on North Avenue here in Austin.
Yes.
He was getting his hair groomed and so forth. Y'all see what he looked like. So we don't need to even talk no further about that.
His money back.
But now let's talk about our police.
They get his money back.
Yeah, most definitely.
Well, look, I just happen to agree that I think people can do a good job, but some people you just can't help. So they may be a good barber, a good stylist, but some people, you just come here like you are.
Right.
So it's nothing more you're going to be able to do about that. So whatever enhancements and everything, but again, that's on our tax dollars. Do we care that he went and got any of this stuff done if it wasn't on our tax dollars? Absolutely not. Because let's go back again to about the salary that he getting, $220-something thousand that you had your own money to pay for your own beauty treatment. Now, NBC5 stays on him with FOIA requests. That's Freedom of Information Act, y'all, in case y'all want to know what that's about.
Yeah.
NBC5 stay on him. Start to wonder, did NBC5 kind of swing on over here to the independent or Republican? Okay. because
Yeah.
generally they clicked in together.
No.
Now ABC, you know what they about.
I do. Yeah. Miss
Yeah,
Prosperity,
Mhm.
there's a question for you from Jim Girl.
Okay.
He said, didn't Brandon not even allow us to vote for removing our sanctuary city status? And I know the answer to that, but I'll let you answer it.
All right, Jim Girl, here we go.
We go.
Here
But
we go.
Prosperity, can you talk about Anna Rose? What's her Perez's Anna Rosa Perez, his role in this, and what what his role played, how he played a role in not allowing for the sanctuary vote to even go across.
Whoa.
CJ,
Rosa
I mean,
Perez.
there's quite a bit of things going on here. Yes,
Oh, yeah.
and yes. Okay, so with the sanctuary city, we actually have been going down there for those meetings and getting up there speaking. That's when you all seen that a lot of this had gone viral with this one, that one, and so forth. That's speaking, right?
Right.
I have been going down there, but I didn't get to speak until December 14th. So I'm going to reference me and what things that I had a part of. And there were times when we couldn't even get into the meeting because they would invite their CTU people, Chicago Teachers Union. I know I'm throwing out acronyms, but I'm also going to give y'all the names too. So that way no one gets lost in the shuffle here. So the CTU will come down there, and then Brandon started seeing all this publicity that was going on around the United States. So he calling in more and more plants is what I'm calling them.
Say that.
Just like Kamala got her plants that she paid with our tax dollars.
That's right.
So Brandon did the same idea. Let's put these people in these seats and make it look like they someone important for this purposes or that purposes or so forth. What's even pulling kids out of school? Little kids. And tell them Mr. Blakemore, be nice. So they go to be in school. So yes. So we had a special meeting in December and again, let me explain how this worked too when we talk about referendums. Mm-hmm. Referendums can be binding or non-binding. Non-binding mean we'll take your vote, but don't mean we're going to do anything. So the sanctuary city vote was really non-binding to put on a March ballot of this year that the citizens would have been able to vote on it. But that didn't make it onto the voters log or anything. Mm-hmm. So regardless of whatever we said, y'all, that's why y'all go back and look at my video when I called that man out about that executive order. You joke. You knew you were doing this purposely.
You knew.
It didn't matter if we were going to vote on it or not. We had no say so. He already had pulled his communistic move on us that it is what it is. We'll always be a sanctuary city.
I'm in the interview right now.
I have a lot of videos that is on my page that actually captures him in all those acts that I have pointed out. That will always be a sanctuary city. This is always going to be like this. It's always going to be like that. And it didn't matter what the citizens have to say. So yes, you wouldn't have had a word anyway. You're going down here, you're standing up. And the reason why we were going down there and doing all of this, and I'm gonna say for my purposes, okay, Taiwan, you can speak on yours because I ain't speaking for nobody else basically on this. Everybody had their reasons for what they do. But for mine, it was to bring acknowledgement and understanding, to teach people, to show people that this is what's happening right before us. So you gotta wake up, because see, when I'm talking about stuff and people be like, oh, that's just her, she's just venting, she just this, she's just that. But no, I can show you the proof. It's right before your eyes. Open your ears and your eyes, because these things are happening right before you. And to be in denial is self-infliction of harm. That's basically what it boils down to, because you can't deny what's happening before you.
No, ma'am.
You can look and see that they coming for everything you got. And if they can, If they can, it probably be something more than that. We've heard of things that have been occurring.
Yes.
So with that being said, now with the one that you're talking about, Taiwan. Okay, so Emma Mitz, she's the older person that was supposedly detained, her and Alderman Lee, from giving that next couple of votes that would have taken it over the top to supposedly took away the sanctuary city. But let me tell you something. I don't think that was all by coincidence. That was by action, that plan to me. Because number one, when you're not showing up to vote on other matters, you holding me back from getting in that door is just another tactic.
Yep.
I'm telling you how I see it.
Yeah. Yep.
See, I'm watching people. I'm observing people. I'm watching your moves. I don't have to hear you talk. I can see how you walk. Mm-hmm. And I'm looking at that. If you really wanted to have your voice heard on this, you would have got your voice heard. You wouldn't have been out there being held down. Because, see, no woman that is determined is going to be held back by nobody. Right. Nobody can stop you but you.
Right. That's right. That's what I say.
So we can't put it on somebody else. That was just another reason to say, okay, because her and another one of them down there generally don't show up until it's late or after the vote.
Oh, yeah.
So it was not going to happen, y'all. I'm just going to keep it real, which I hate to bust any bubbles, but I keep it real because I know the truth. You'll love it.
Right.
You may not like it, but you'll love it. Because nobody wants to be lied to. Nobody wants to be just pushed around like they some little punk.
Right.
And that's exactly what took place down there. So that vote was not going to happen because it was non-binding.
Wow.
Blackson, go ahead.
Ms. Prosperity, I mean, the binding and non-binding, you guys not have no say in that? What's binding and non-binding?
Yeah, we can only talk about it, but it's not like they're going to put anything through. You know, it took other government oversights to really bring it to them about what they were trying to do with us getting into the meetings. They wanted us to show ID.
Oh, Lord.
And they wanted them illegals to not show nothing. I said, the hell if I will show an ID. Y'all got this messed up. You better learn to face.
But see, prosperity.
Oh my God.
Prosperity. That's because of what's happening down in our city government. We have an anti-American city government right now, okay. And that's the best way I could say it. Because when I think about the last 11 months, when I think about my appeals, how many times I've spoken in front of the city and expressed to them about my situation, my circumstance. When I think about what took place here, this is for instance. What I mean by anti-American is this. I'm homeless still at this moment right now. My HMIS number, which is my Homeless Management Information Systems number, is 355-061. Now, this is the number that goes into what is called the Coordinated Entry System, which is supposed to stop or be a system which is supposed to curb homelessness or prevent it. However, I've been on this list, it says since July 2021. And that would have been this would have been when I was at Safe Haven, which is a homeless shelter that I entered. I went into this organization. So I went in, and if you were to use a word for how I was in that program, it would be stellar. I came into the program. I didn't need anybody to motivate me, anybody to push me. Every opportunity that they had, I was seeking it in the program to the point where it seemed to offend them, or let me say my case manager, Mr. Angel Jaruba, that he felt like maybe, I don't know what he felt, but he seen my motivation and my intent to get to my child, and it just became a issue. When I say anti-American, it's for the fact that these individuals do not champion the American. However, they have did everything for the illegals and anything for any other nation aside for the American people, especially the Black American. And they and right now, when I say anti-American, is this: if everyone is not noticing this sort of like narrative in which they're trying to paint Black Americans against the immigrants, they're building this race war, and that's what they've been trying to build. And this is coming out of our city government, y'all. This is not coming from anywhere else. We have an anti-American city government.
You do?
These individuals, and when I say anti-American, it's for the fact that Black Americans, we are Americans, and these people have chosen to attack this nation of people, Americans. This sublimated war that they have surely now set upon the Black Americans and Americans all alike here in the city of Chicago is unheard of, and it's so clandestine that people not recognizing it. It's like they just see it as just little hiccups, little hiccups. Oh, that's just a pop off. That Anna Rosa thing, that attack on Emma Mitz was to assert dominance. They wanted to assert dominance in that room, and that's what it was. Because I'm serious. Like when you in that room and you literally watching people for the last few months, I've noticed how he walk around there, or was walk up until now, when they called Fuentes out, when they called Cedro Lopez out, now they calling Vasquez out, the immigrations on all of these people will be held accountable. These people will be held, and they like, oh, well, no, I'm not saying it, because every day they call the Black Americans out. Every Black alderman is called out every day. So it's no need to say, oh, you just point fingers. No. We're now starting to localize where the issues are coming from. Let's say that. So no.
Brandon Johnson said it out of his mouth that they're putting, now he said others are doing it, not him, that the poor Black Americans are being put against, or I guess some kind of crashing or violence. I don't have his exact words, but either way, that the Black Americans and the Hispanic Americans of the poor are fighting one another. He said that in one of his press conferences.
Wow.
But why? Why does he believe that's happening? Because number one, let's go back to 71st Street. They put out a sign that, and these are communists that put out a sign that said that Black Americans are hating on immigrants.
Yep, I did a video on that. Yep, I know exactly what you're talking about. I said we ought to be ashamed of ourselves and all. Yeah, tell it.
Exactly.
Go ahead and tell it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When Black Americans are not the type of people to hate on anybody, they're more welcoming than anything. That's the reason why Black Americans are finding themselves in so much of a predicament. Because we have to be discerning of who we give our resources to. We can't just be out here just throwing it out there because, well, the Bible says, let me tell you what the Bible says. Bible says you take care of your home first. And when your home is together, then you can help somebody else. But you can't help nobody else until you got something to give to somebody else.
Facts.
Now, we are not the type of people that shuns this type of group or that type of group or anything. But I'm going to tell you what happens to a lot of Black Americans. They get shunned. They get stepped on. You know, people mistake me for that. I'm somebody weak or something like of that sort because of how they come and address me until they find out. And some more getting ready to find out because, see, I'm pulling back and I'm listening. I'm observing and I'm paying attention. But see, I'll tell you, it's clapping.
Miss Prosperity, I have a question for you and Mr. Taiwan from Peacetime. Have you thought about putting forth Black Republican candidates for all government positions? That's a good question.
And as a matter of fact, I have been soliciting with advertisements to call upon Republicans. Now, see me, I'm going to tell you about that skin color thing.
Okay.
A lot of our people at times when they get high up there, see one thing, when a person don't know about what a vow means, they tend to lose focus
Yes.
of
Say
who
that.
they
Say
are.
that.
But because I've always quoted this scripture, although my beginnings are small, yet my latter end shall greatly increase. That
Say that.
means that if I make a vow, I'm to stand by my word. And if I speak that before God, God holds me accountable on that vow. So now that God has promoted me to a level that I can be able to be in that position, I can't be going back and turning my face to those who don't have. So that's what I talked about with tithes and offerings and any other things that happens. And this is where some people just tend to lose it. So you got to get away from that skin color
Yes.
and get to the inner person and who they are. Because that's why I said down there, no more blue, no matter who, go red, but
Yeah.
I don't care what color you are.
Nope.
I said that on the video because the color don't dictate who you are.
Nope.
It's the character that dictates who you are and what you're subject to do. What
Yes.
are your policies? And are you a person of honor? Are you a person that a person can look to and have confidence that you're going to do what you say you're going to do? Keep your word. Keep your word. And that's the
Say that.
problem that we got when a lot of our own, not just others, our own, I got to call them out.
Say
Get
it.
into these roles. They forget. No, they don't forget. They just don't care. Like they don't have to answer to nobody. Like that, it's just a said done deal. No, baby, let me tell you, I'm not gonna say responsible, accountable
Right.
for our actions. Because every person you step on to get ahead is every person gonna be recalled back to you when it's time for you to answer.
Kamala Harris.
Okay. So we can't keep stepping on anybody. If somebody's stepping on someone to try to get ahead, let me tell you, that's the first way you're gonna fall.
Facts. And Pinky just
You
said
have
that.
to have a solid foundation. Your foundation needs to be built on something solid, not quicksand.
And character. Miss Prosperity, Pinky just basically said what you just stated. You better start shunning them because when they get a hold of political power, you are out. That basically what you just said. So stop looking at that color. Hit the like button, folks.
Ladies, can I speak to that?
This situation now, looking at, we've been told as Black Americans, you have to vote for the Black person. That's why we're in bad shape now. Stop
Exactly.
it. What are your policies? What are they? Don't care about your skin color or your gender. What are your policies? Lose me with that
So,
other stuff. Don't want to hear it.
so ladies, can I speak to that?
Yes, sir.
And more times than not. So when you talk about political power and people with the backbiting and the backstabbing and undercutting, we starting to, and we hardly seen that when we were like during the civil rights era and whatnot. We hardly seen that. And so I imagine what the focus was then and how we stayed locked in on the goal or the mission at hand. Now it's so much, it's so many different factors when you're dealing with people. You see, I'm oftentimes trying to see the better in people, even though I've went through hell in my life. I'm still going through hell even right now. However, I've noted to try to see the better because, hey, what's the sense in constantly just sitting in the funk? Let's say that. Right now, I say that politically here in the city of Chicago, it's the vindictive nature of our representatives that's causing a lot of the rifts. And it's a hardship because we have the worst issues in the worst areas. We have educational, finance, public safety, how. And these are a lot, it's a lot of departments to deal in right here. And a lot of collateral damage when they don't work out. Because we have educational right now, we got $1 billion, and they're not even talking about the 500 and something million shortfall in education right now that they wrestling about. But it's to the tune of honestly $1 billion. So we have $1 billion shortfall financially, and we have $1 billion shortfall over here in this area. How? Where did all of this money go if we also had a surplus given to us for the COVID? And also federally for this whole new arrivals relief. the $600 million. So where's all of this money?
You know where.
Yes, very much so. I know where it's at, and they want to keep us so off balanced. If we if we can't focus on Pedro Martinez, or if we can't focus on Brandon Johnson, then we don't actually see the true issue. Because we'll be over here arguing about, oh, well, what about this NRO? No, those people are just players. Let's talk about the shot callers, because these are the people who got us in this. And Brandon Johnson does not want to be held accountable. Brent, look, so I'm homeless right now at this point. We have a housing chairman, Byron C. Joe Lopez, who has had he has had finances in this area. Housing is financed. How did you all drop the ball on one singular individual, but pick the bill up on X amount of illegals?
Mm-hmm.
How was the American left out of the picture, and you all was able to build shelters? You all was able to reserve housing. You all so effortlessly was able to handle this so-called new arrival initiative, set up everything around it, but I'm still homeless. How?
You know how. And then, as Prosperity mentioned earlier, they pitted the African American community against the people that they brought there and dumped in the Black community. That was all done by plan, because
Yes.
they are the replacements.
Yeah.
Prosperity and I talked about that earlier. So far as the taxes and the property, and we know what's going on here: gentrification, right?
But we need to stay focused.
Yeah.
We really need to stay focused on that and stay focused on pointing that out. Like, I don't think we really going over this properly. Yes, these people are being financed. They have a finance. In any type of campaign, you need transportation, you need units, and you need bases. These people have been given all of those things. So if it was 47,200 and some people in the city illegally, those people who they've financed out and given homes and cars, they're gonna get, everybody that comes in illegally gets to go into those homes and those apartments and those houses. So we don't know exactly what the number is right now. As of what, July? As of what, September? Where every day thousands and thousands of pounds of people just coming into the city, because it's already been a meal flag waved. When they gave the Gomez family, when they put it in the news, the Gomez family obtained home ownership in Chicago in 2 years after coming through Venezuelan border, after coming illegally. They waived it. Where y'all think all those people coming to?
Chicago.
And Black Americans sitting back like we unaware of what's going on. I'm seeing Black kids walking down the street with their moms, tattered, dirty, destitute looking almost, versus people who have just come over here, new clothes on, well dressed. How? This is the no. How? And people can say, oh well, I'm not being racist. I'm being aware. And I'm gonna point it out, and I'm gonna continue to point it out.
You know that racist word, they can take that and do something with it. Okay,
right.
They go.
I'm so oblivious of it. Look, I'm so oblivious of it when they start spouting it out and spitting it out. I'm so oblivious. I'm walking into settings where people have. I was at a movie theater. I'm in the movie theater in America. Okay.
That's what you're talking about.
Let's say we go. Okay, let's say we go to France or Germany, even anywhere. When there's a movie and they plan a new Avengers movie, that new Avengers movie will be in whatever language it is, but it'll have a reservation. It'll have a subtitle to accommodate the visitor, right?
Right.
Maybe.
I went to Look, listen, I went to a theater. It's on 76 in Cicero in Chicago. We went at 8 o'clock, reserved tickets, got in there, watched all the commercials, all the advertisements in English. When the movie came on, it was simply in Espanol.
No.
It's only in Espanol. Only. No subtitles, no nothing. I was stunned. Look, I said, wait, I said, maybe it's something wrong with the projector. They gonna fix it. Right? So we sit in there for like the next maybe like 7 minutes trying to figure out when it's going to be fixed. And come to find out the movie is only in Espanol. Talk about, oh, it's just one showing. One showing. What if I don't and I really don't like to watch the 3D movies? So so you telling me, and I love subtitles. So you telling me that you telling me that there's a movie in the in the United States, there's a movie theater accommodating only Espanol speaking people, and this all inclusive. That's what y'all always screaming, all inclusive. Y'all always screaming, it's all inclusive. What about the American? What about the American?
You know, I want to add to this part, though, as what you're talking about. I want to talk about the legal migrants.
Okay.
The legal one. Because, see, that's what I would advocate for when I first started getting out here protesting, is for the people who have come to this country the proper channels.
Right.
And I constantly will talk about that I am against it. Yeah. When you come in here, when these folks come here to the United States of America with barely the shoes on their feet, the clothes on their back, they didn't get no packages. They had to actually expense a lot of things. They had to go learn English. They had to pass the Constitution. How do I know all of this? Because I knew quite a few people who did.
Yep.
How fair is it for them to get slapped in the face and say, no more money for you, no more money for you, you lazy, you lazy.
You get no more money. Yeah.
And they come here bringing value, bringing trade, bringing skills, bringing the to want to do something to help, to be a part of the society here. You know, that's who I advocate for.
Right.
I cannot advocate for this other stuff out here. Because like I told y'all just about a month ago now, how this one come through here, he couldn't speak a lick of English, but he sure driving a car, tearing up everybody else's car coming down the street.
Oh, no.
He had no insurance, more likely. Because see, okay, let's get to the Secretary of State, because see, I got a lot of interactions with them too. And the IDOT, Illinois Department of Transportation.
Oh, no.
A lot of them don't have no insurance, but then you go out there to the site saying, well, they're required to have SR22. Give me a goddamn break. You ain't no SR22. SR22 don't even know who you are, because you don't even tell us who your real name is. By the time you done got arrested several times, you done got 5 different names. If it wasn't for them goddamn fingerprints, you wouldn't know who they was. So we got to associate them to which name? Is it the first name, the second name, the third name? Oh, you're just the unknown. See, that wasn't happening when you come through legally.
Right.
And not to mention, even more people that I do know of, and in another story was that even had to do background searches and checks and interviews with people to know more about who you are as a person. And I said also up at City Hall, my respect to you all that do it the right way.
You did. Yep.
But not those who don't.
Nope.
I have no respect for you. To me, you're just like a thief.
You got that right.
And a thief will do anything. Lie, steal, kill, whatever thing they'll do. They'll do everything. And that would be their father, the devil.
Right.
Because people say, well, we are all God's children. Lie. God gave spirits and holy spirits of birth But as Jesus said in the words of Red, you are of your father, the devil.
He said it. He said it.
So I ain't trying to hear we all God's children, because all God's children is not going to go out here and say, oh, well, I know I heard you say that, Lord, but you know, you're not right. And a lot of times I know God knows our heart. He knows what we're going through. He knows our pain. He knows our suffering. That's why Jesus came to the earth, so that he can experience it in the flesh.
Right.
But for people to keep deceiving, conniving, denying, and lying, and all these other ings at the end of it, that annoys me, because people need to keep it 100.
Facts.
Keep it real.
Right.
Because that's the only way you're going to get to your destiny, is to accept what is actually happening and do something about it.
That's right.
So that's why I have went on my, and not like my husband had anything that he can do about it. But you know what? This year, I had a whole bunch of things that came at me. My thing was, I'm going to kick back, kick up my feet for a minute, sit in my gazebo and just enjoy life. Lord said, no, you ain't. You got a battle to fight out here, child. Not with your mouth. And I've been out here fighting ever since last December. Actually started in November. Right. And then my husband tagged on and says, okay, this is her path. This is what she's led to do. I'll assist the way I can.
Right.
Well, it's not me alone that's doing anything. I do have support.
That's right.
And that's what we need, is people to support us, not to be envious, jealous, or any of these other things. Because we all have a common goal, not because you got your own mission, you got your own mission, everybody got their own mission, and I want to be the headmaster, I want to be this, I want to be that. No. I ain't trying to take no head position. If anything, I was the one in the background. I said, I can give y'all all the facts, the data that can assist in this matter. But then it became, I needed to speak. So now I'm speaking. And then it became, you need to educate. So now I educate. But see, you can't educate without showing the proof, because it's, again, just like the Bible talks about, who gonna listen to a fool?
Good point.
So I got to come out with what is going to show the evidence. Always go for the evidence, the facts,
the receipts. As long as you have your receipts, they can't say it. What can they say?
Exactly. And that's how you win a lot of things. That's how you actually succeed in life. You can't go on hearsay. That's why, I'm going to say, when I don't care about you Democrats coming up into this chat room. I don't care. But I know you better bring some facts.
That's right.
Now, see, I'm supporting Blackson on this.
Right.
I'm supporting them. I'm not trying to hear all this. Oh, well, she did this. I can show y'all some videos that'll blow you away about what this so-called Miss Kamala Harris, Mrs. Kamala Harris, has said and done. You 18 to 24 years up in this chair, she called y'all stupid.
Yep.
Sure did.
Sure
y'all
did.
don't have a brain. She sure did. Go to my website. You'll see it. Go on my channel. You'll see it. It comes from the horse's mouth.
And I played it on here too. So
okay.
Yep, we both played. Yeah, we both played it.
Of many things. Oh, and then when she was on the cooking show.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and how all of the Indian in her was just roaring. Hey, what about this black thing? And let me tell you, I was at the National Black Journalists Convention because I was covering that.
Right.
While she didn't show up, of course, but Trump shows up.
That's right.
Trump made it a point. And let me tell y'all something about Trump. Trump can be laying back. He ain't got to be taking no bullets coming at his head.
That's
like in the hood where you got to duck and dodge and don't know what's going to come from what direction, what path. He don't have to be going through any of that stuff. Nope. This man is rich. He could be laying on his butt.
That's right.
I thought I was, but it ain't happened. because God had another mission for me. But either way,
He did.
Trump is on a mission.
He is.
Trump is not on his mission. He's on God's mission. That's
Right.
why Trump is not sitting back laying on his butt
That's
with
right.
his riches and wealth. He don't have to go and put himself in harm's way in the midst of the battle zone for us. This is somebody who's showing who he is.
That's right.
And people want to go back to, well, this man is arrogant. This man, look at him, how he acts. He's Agent Orange. Oh, I done heard all of it. I done heard it all, and I don't even give a care. Because you know what?
Yep.
That Agent Orange, let me tell you about that Agent Orange. That Agent Orange is on a mission.
And
that mission is not himself. That mission is others like us. And when I say like us, that means every shade of color, ethnic group, and anything else. That man is on a mission, not on his own. Do you know that God is the one that guides your steps, even as you devise your own plans?
Say it again.
I'm a testimony to that. I'm a testimony because I did not plan this path that I'm on. I was put on it. And for me to be obedient, I got to do what I got to do.
Facts.
So
Miss Prosperity.
Mm-hmm.
In the chat, several people are asking you to run for office.
Come on. Now, I've been asked why didn't I go into law?
It's not too late.
No, yes, it is. I'm gonna tell you why it is. Because I ain't trying to deal with this stress 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Right.
My son is, and I try to tell him. Now, learn from a lesson.
Oh my goodness. Okay, I just wanted to let you know. There's Thor and a few other people in the chat. They want you to run for office. They said they would vote for you.
Now, I'm gonna stand on what I believe, but you know what? I'm gonna have to be on some heavy dosage of ashwagandha, some cortisol relieving, everything to GABA. Because I told when I told people the reason why I didn't go into law,
right? Because
I would be in contempt of court all the time.
Because you wouldn't be quiet. You keep talking.
I keep getting kicked out. I would get kicked out because I've held pro se cases. Oh. And when I go before the judge, I ain't letting off. Nope. Dismiss my bleep. No, I got facts, so forth. It's again, I have been turned into this person that I am. I didn't come up like this. Because of circumstances that pushed me to that point, that I ended up turning into this person who is a warrior that will continue to stand for what I believe in. I'm not standing for myself.
That's right.
It's for others.
That's right.
See, because when you help others, that's how you get blessed.
Yes, ma'am.
It ain't about yourself. And I know I had this conversation the last time I was on the show.
That's right.
That we talked about this. And this is where a lot of people just don't seem to get it through their skulls.
That's right.
I don't do selfishness. I will stand and I will go to the ends. The challenge that I'm telling you is that I will have to be lit up all the time because I got too much energy. And that's why I drink a lot of tea, so I can try to pull myself down on this. Don't do no caffeines, none of that. But I have to lower that energy level. And that's only because it's just that it's stressful. I would love, and you know what? And I want to add one more thing. The occupation that I do is helping people.
Yes, it is.
It's problem solving and it's finding opportunities. I'm actually a consultant and I'm certified. So one way or the other, I'm still going to do what I need to do to help others, irregardless.
Miss Prosperity, Chicago Hood wanted me to ask you. First, Alley Cat said she wanted.
Hey, Chicago Hood, Alley Cat.
Yes. So Alley Cat said you should run for mayor. Chicago Hood said, and a few other people wanted to know if you have any inside voting results from of Cook County at this point.
We don't have anything that has been posted at this point. And again, I did see one map, but you can't rely on that. That stuff is not going to be anywhere near what it's supposed to be, because if you're winning, they're going to suppress it.
Right.
And if you're not winning, then they're going to try to blast it and make it something that is not. But I did see one chart that showed that the color went from that deep blue to a light blue.
Oh, really?
And there's a lot of people who's not talking about it, but is walking about it, because they know what's happening to them. They see what's going on around them. So we don't have the numbers. I'm not going to proclaim it, because let me tell you, I sent you something this morning, Ms. Lynn, about how they said that if Trump tried to proclaim or claim on the day of the election, that they're going to try to use all media possible. Well, you know, they already, I'm telling you, a whole bunch of these channels are already sponsored by the Democratic Party.
Oh,
say that.
Facts.
So they already said they're going to use every media possible to try to persuade people's thinking, because a lot of people follow the mainstream news. And let me tell you about Channel 7. You know, that's mainstream here in Chicago. So the reporter, after I done caught the story, I see the reporter coming in, and I said, "Oh, you're a little late, aren't you? You mainstream, right? I got the story." So, you know, and he gave me this look, how dare you?
Oh, yeah.
I'm just saying, I just know what the expectation is, because many people want to watch the mainstream because they think that is the gospel. They think it is the truth. They think it is the facts.
Yep.
But see, when you get people who's out here on the scene, Taiwan, myself, and others that are out here on the scene that's capturing information, that's who you really need to be looking to and saying, okay, there's got to be some truth to this, because how is it that these people is showing something different than what they're showing?
Exactly.
So no, I wouldn't expect them to have us any numbers at this point. Because as you all probably already know, back in March of this year, they already had come across where it was about 10,000 votes, I recall, somewhere in that ballpark, that they forgot to enter into the race back in March.
Of course they did.
Yeah, something happened with that. And then they came out and said, well, we didn't get these votes in, and it was due to whatever reasons. And we're like, yeah, right. Like, we're not accustomed to this.
That part.
As a matter of fact, when it came down to Trump, I'm going to bring it up too. So they tried to remove Trump off of our ballots here in Chicago. And I got wind of that. I was expecting a lot more people to show up to public speak on that. Guess who was there?
Who?
Me and my husband.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And I came in there with the Constitution and the House of Congress, and I went before all of the board members, and I spoke on all of that. And then after it was done, I was outside doing photos, videos of the homeless that was out there, so I can show people what's going on here in Chicago.
Yes.
One of the board members, who I come to learn is a lawyer as well, he came out and he said that was very well spoken.
Oh, wow.
Then about, I think it was a couple of weeks later, they gave a decision that they were not going to remove Trump off the ballot, because there were lawsuits against Trump here in Chicago.
Yep.
And I said, no, based upon House of Congress, it states it here about the voters' rights. Now, a lot of you probably weren't born back in those days when blacks couldn't vote. And blacks are considered what, about 1/3 of a person?
Yep.
1/8 of a person, was it? It was one of them numbers of a person.
3/5.
3/5 of them.
Okay, so thank you. So you want a whole person.
That's right.
But yet people go and vote and say, well, I got to vote because of my ancestors that died. I give respect to your ancestors and our ancestors. I get it. I'm not down in that whatsoever. But that doesn't mean we got to vote the same way.
That's right.
As they did. Because when you look at back in the 60s, the Republican Party were the ones who were supportive of the black people.
Yes, they were.
Not those Democrats. I remember when the dads were not supposed to be in the homes in order for the moms to be able to get paychecks from the government.
That's right.
I visit plenty of homes where dads were not in those homes in the 60s, 70s. Not my dad. My dad said, "The hell with that. I'm raising my children." So no, we'll do what we got to do. Because we ain't looking, and that's why you had many fathers that decided that they were not going to collect government subsidies because it divided the family.
And that was done on purpose.
On purpose. Yep. Then you got Lyndon B. Johnson that said when he became president, and Martin Luther King said that we're going to have the civil rights bill signed. And he also said we coming for that check.
Oh, yeah.
Well,
he did.
What did Lyndon say? Because they still got his actual voice out there on the internet. He
said
we
have the ends voting Democrat for the next 200 years.
There you go. Yeah. There you go. People, here's a history lesson, what they don't teach you in school.
Exactly.
Nope.
Because if you don't know history,
what benefits have we gotten voting with this party? In the last 70 years, in the last 40 years, in the last 40 years, I'm 44 years old. What are the benefits?
Some people will call the benefits of getting that government subsidy check.
When you're in a perpetual cycle of poverty, so it's nothing.
And here's what I also learned.
And the thing, but when we speak about that subsidy check for decades, you okay with this? So think of the conditioning that you have to be exposed to be for decades okay with just receiving some meager funding.
That's all correct.
Until you learn about what the illegals are getting, now we hit a thorn in the side.
Yeah.
However,
Americans not getting that kind of money that the illegals are getting.
No, they're not.
Yeah, nope. Prosperity. Let's go back to this. So this right here was a catalyst for a lot of awareness. It brought a lot of awareness exactly to what was going on with Black Americans considering this. Because I'm out here in Roseland, and I would go to a Walmart. They had made a line, and I recorded it. It's on my page. They made a line, cut a line off speedy for the illegals who were working for the Walmart tap and go. So these people, I'm talking about, how did y'all get cars for one? Where did y'all get the cars from for one to do? Right. So you telling me that you all had this enterprise available for the residents or the community where y'all could build them up, right? Well, yeah, apparently y'all had an enterprise, right? Because y'all was able to get the cars, acquire cars to get these people so that they might make money and whatnot, so they'll have jobs and get enterprise. But you telling me that the surrounding community did not deserve that? Y'all couldn't come up with this same benefit for the community? But when these people come in, y'all instantly fast track them ahead of the community. People ain't had cars out here. People ain't had homes out here. It's people out here struggling. It's blighted. This is a blighted community, a truly blighted community. I'm from Rogers Park. This is a truly blighted community. And this was the repayment. This was a slap in the face. When they put this up, Bob Avakian and the Webcom Corps, this was a slap in our face. This was to prove that we had no say-so. We had no constitutional rights, and we were subhuman. He wanted to prove this, but this just didn't come from him. This came from, let's say, dear comrades over there in city government. Because this Democratic Party, their whole agenda is to prove that their investment is going to shine through, and their investment has been the illegals. When they allow for these people when they destroyed our borders, they destroyed our borders. They might as well have put charges on the gates and blew them themselves and allow for people to come right through the door. Hey, come on in. And while you're at it, let's try to start a race war. They've been pushing at this since the George Floyd thing. They've been pushing at this for a long time. A long time, and it's to throw the American people off from our vote. Right now, they trying to push this issue of racism. Look, our country has been dealing with a legacy of a lot of things. We'll get around it once we get ourselves intact. But right now, if we keep committing to this emotional way of thinking, this distracted way of thinking, then you can guarantee that if this woman is allowed to sit in office, and I ain't saying it because she's a woman, but if this woman is allowed, I'm saying it because of her character. They have shown her through. She has shown herself through time and time now. You changed your voice into every area, any circle you went into, you changed your voice into that. How? What type of identity crisis are you really dealing with? We need to recognize ourselves as Americans. We need to know that we're dealing with an American.
Well, let's be clear. Let's be clear now. I'm not going to just do anything for Black people. No.
And wait. Wow. How is everybody avoiding this? This was a blatant. She said it out of her mouth. How is everybody? There's no PR in the world. That's not enough PR in the world to take your voice off of that statement. No. You said we're not going to do anything specific. Exactly. Equity. That's all. Equity.
We ask for equality. We ain't asked to be put above anybody else. We ask for equality, fairness. Bring us our just rewards for what we bust our tails for, just like anybody else. Why are you paying them X amount of dollars and those down here least amount of dollars? That's not fair for the same job. Let me talk about the same job too. That you're paying because this person has this. I remember when I went to IBM. Okay, so I got a technology background. I remember when I went to IBM and I went into that job interview and I was the only Black female and there were white males that were waiting to be interviewed. I knew that I'm going to have to come with my A game, even more so. So not only that I am seen, but I am heard and believed that I knew what I was doing. Before I walked out of that interview, I got the job.
Oh, wow.
But guess what? I turned it down. I turned it down for the purposes of it was to build my confidence. And sometimes, y'all, you got to get out here and build your confidence up by walking into the one thing that you believe that you're not qualified for, that you may fear, and you need to be able to stand and believe in yourself.
That's facts.
Because without that, I'm going to tell you, without that confidence, exuding that confidence, no one else is going to have confidence in you.
Truth.
So that's why I say, irregardless of whatever is going on around us, no one can stop you but you. But the point is that we see the evil. We see what's lurking all around us. And we're fighting against evil, but it's in principalities and spiritual and dark places. Humans are being used to do these evil works. That's why you got to cast them down too. You got to cast them demons up out of them. I rebuke you, Satan, in the name of Jesus. You know, like unfortunately, the young lady did, and the officer who had him in him did what he did. That's unfortunate. But also, let me just recall back to when Alicia had gone to City Hall, and she spoke up there about what they bring with them from those other foreign countries. And she made she was on target. She was on point. That video went crazy because people knew she was speaking the truth.
Wow.
But then you got those who want to make comments that you probably one of the main ones that vote Democrat. Okay, so let me see. Why would she take her time to go off work, get off work, or any other things that she needs to manage to come down here to help people to understand what is actually going on out here, for her to just turn around and do the opposite? It makes no sense. No one paid her to come down there and do that. So that's why people need to stop these ignorant comments, because they are ignorant. I've had that thrown at me.
Me too.
And like I said, I can tell you what I vote because I got a voters log, baby, and I can show who I'm registered with. And it sure is not Democratic.
It's prosperity. I told you all the time, and you know I go live often, and people come and drop into the chat section. People leave comments. Well, you voted for it. And I say respectfully, ma'am, sir, no, I did not. I did my research and I did not vote for the Democrat. But they just look at you and make an assumption. I do not vote for Democrats. I don't. But they don't ask. They just come in and drop a snide remark or leave a snide comment.
Yeah, y'all, all of y'all voted for all y'all voted for this. All y'all voted for this.
Oh, we didn't. But we're suffering. We're suffering for the people who did. Of all
That's why I say this is an opportunity now to make things right, to try to help make things right. Let's get the right people in there. We have a one-party system here in Chicago. The rest of Illinois wants to separate from Chicago. They want to make Chicago its own state. Why? Because they fed up. Why is it that we see and you don't? Why won't you just look and see what's going on, the endangerment, the harm, and everything else that's going on around you? When they pull shot spotter, that right there was a testament to what they thought about us. Yes. You're on your own. So that's why people got to look at what is really going on within the whole arena of this city. Because it's not just Chicago. It's all Cook County, as I call it, Crook County. It's all Crook County that is being affected by this whole thing. And if people continuously want to close their eyes, you know what? I'm going to say, Lord, I did my part.
Right.
There's nothing more I can do, because, you know, the only thing we can really do is plant the seeds and let God grow it up into a harvest.
Facts.
And that's where my trust is in him, that he's doing what he sees that needs to be done. And I know, because too many other people that came out and said it after several months, I got this delivered to me in my Holy Spirit, that Trump is being utilized, by God is using him for the purposes to come in and help the people. Because he said, I sought for a man that would do this, but I couldn't find one.
That's it.
Trump saying, use me. I'll do it. Because I could have turned my back when I got almost in my head. I could have turned my back when they attempted this out in Arizona. I could have turned my back when they probably attempted this down in Atlanta. Yep. I could have turned my back. That's all Trump could have said. I could have turned my back, but Trump is saying no. Yep. We will continue to fight. We will continue, because we know what happened in 2020. I got laughed at by people who are supposed to be close to me, but I got laughed at. Oh, you believe that? All this other stuff. Yeah, I do. I sure do. And all the proof has come out now. All the proof has come out. Because like I tell people, everything in the dark will come to light.
Always.
When you think you hadn't something, somebody somewhere seen something.
Right.
But prosperity.
God don't have them there for the purposes of seeing it.
That's right.
And you know he see everything.
So prosperity. So well, when we think about that part, what's in the dark coming to the light, they had pegged Donald Trump in every way in the light as this greasy, grimy, sex crazed, degenerate. Mm-hmm. And we fell hook, line, and sinker for it. That's how Obama got in.
Not me. And
well, I did. Let me say I did. I'm the least likely Trump supporter here right now. And the reason is because of those reasons. The media had us so wrapped up that I couldn't see. The media had us so wrapped up that I didn't even know that the guy had even proposed the platinum plan. That's how wrapped up I was. Never even knew about the platinum plan. We hear a lot about the Project 25, but we don't hear anything about the platinum plan. The plan that was proposed that Black Americans never heard about. Exclusive plan for Black Americans. Not what when we hear Kamala say, I'm not going to do anything specifically, versus a gentleman who made a proposal for education, finance, and longevity wealth. So how could this individual be slated as a racist? But it's so many ways that they format this. Like if I speak to something that took place in the council. So when I first got there, I'm talking about an issue with my kid. So, but this shows you when you're dealing with not a democracy as what you call said, but a dictatorship.
That's
And we
what you
dealing with a dictatorship in the Democratic Party. These people demand cooperation.
You
And
better
if you're
believe
not and if you're not going to cooperate, you will be attacked. You're going to be singled out and attacked on
Under
every level.
indictment. Under indictment.
Look, I got paperwork in front of me. I'm going to show, and I can prove it. I can literally by myself dismantle the Democratic Party here in the city of Chicago to show them truly for what they are. Just by the paperwork I got in front of me. Why would you all fight a small war against an indigent father? Why would you all separate a father from his children? Why would you all separate a son from his ailing mother in her time of need? What was the reason for these things that took place, and they have taken place? Which this is what landed me up at City Council. So I come through the door and I'm talking about these issues. I'm telling them about Yaske. I'm telling them about what's happening at 50 West Washington, and how Deanna Williamson, one of the managers up at the Domestic Relations Division, is attacking me. I'm telling them about this. Ignored. I'm telling them about the fact that I had a case with the EEOC and how that case is being undermined by even the investigator. Ignored. I'm telling them about the fact that they allowed the lady Deanna Williamson to get an order of protection against me for calling her out on her abuse.
they don't want
Ignored.
They don't want you
Look,
to say
I stood in front of Tony Prattwinkle, the president of the commissioners, Democrat, ignored, and also ignored with an attitude to the point where like I was bothering them. So these
Right.
people have weaponized. These people have weaponized every system that they can to undermine and to prove that, hey, you're a degenerate. Hey, you're a violent person. So, and they pulled every stunt down there at City Council, violating our First Amendment right. Any way that they can violate us, they will. Any way to keep you from talking or expressing the truth, they will. Any way for you to say, oh,
Right.
no.
Yes.
No. We're not $1 billion in debt. We're no. We're not giving all the housing away to the illegals. No. We're not ignoring the Americans in light of everyone else. No. We're not stealing y'all tax money. Y'all is. Y'all
Hey.
is, and y'all is, and you is. Look, and you
That's why
is.
they're trying to silence you. That's what. That's exactly why they're trying to silence you. And like I said, I've been talking to Miss Prosperity, Blacks, and we've been talking about some of this. What do you think about what everything that they've stated so far? Oh my God!
I mean, to sum it all up, it's
Wow.
basically the Democrats have proved themselves to lie over and over and over again. Especially, I felt Prosperity on the taxing part.
Yes.
Kamala Harris says she said, we're going to do away with them Trump tax cuts. Isn't that not what she said?
She said it.
Then who's going to be paying for them tax cuts? We are. They expired.
We're paying for it now. We're going to continue. Right. Our taxes will be even higher. So I'm with Miss Prosperity. My taxes are high enough.
Right. The Democrats have always been the party of extra taxes. Always. That's why I'm glad people woke up when Kamala stole Trump's no tax on tips. So Trump said, okay, I'll take it even further. No tax on Social Security, no tax on overtime. Keep up with that, Kamala. She let that go right there because he talking about too many tax cuts. And they got this idiot Mark Cuban out here talking about, Trump don't know about tariffs with his gay butt. Oh, he don't know about tariffs. Like, yes, he does know about tariffs.
Millionaire who's listening to him, if not a billionaire, who cares what he said? Right? We ignore them. They're not struggling the way we are. They can pay their taxes. So
now I want to address something that Taiwan said.
Okay.
He put up the thing and talked about Bob Avakian. For the others of y'all who don't know who Bob Avakian, he is an avowed communist. He is a Maoist. The Revolutionary Communist Party. Oh, yeah, I know them quite well. And they're Maoists. They're Maoists.
Homegrown terrorists.
Right.
Homegrown.
Right. So yeah, I don't respect anything Bob Avakian says because he wants to see the destruction and fall of America. And they have said this many times. I've been in
George Soros as well.
Yeah, Soros. Yeah. They're all communists at the end of the day. So yeah, prosperity Taiwan, keep the fighting. But again, like I said, these Democrats. I wish there was a way you guys could take a census and really
I know
how many people are switching from blue to red. I wish, because I'm telling you, like I told Prosperity before, if it's a straight up election, Cook County's going to flip.
See, blacks and
Let's see those red hearts. How many people flipping? Flip Chicago. How many people flipping Chicago?
Flood the comment section with red hearts, and that's what
Let's
we were
go.
saying.
Let's go. Hashtag Chicago red and red hearts. Let's go. Let's fill it up because it's necessary. Right now, we have to take a conservative stance. If we don't take a conservative stance right now and get our affairs in order, because we've been set on a course. I don't know what this course is, but it does not resemble America. It is not resembling America on either side. We could say it's a black America, it's a white America. It does not resemble any America. And that means we getting away from our values. That means we getting away from everything. And how we be allowing ourselves to be dragged by people who can't even make proper decisions? No. And if it seems like
come from another country and get all our funding, and we can't get nothing that we always gotta fight for.
That's right.
How?
Or always lied to and said there's no money, but you have billions of dollars for non-citizens. Okay, that's how that works.
And they demand that we on the front line, like with so with the Palestinian and the Israel thing. This fight, I keep saying so I say to everybody who speak with me about it, I can address it, but how? How do I address it? I'm not a Palestinian and I'm not a Jewish person. I can have my hangups with it. However, I cannot express a true passion towards what's going on. But ask me about the genocide that's happening here in Chicago. Ask me about the young black Americans. Ask me about the Latin. Ask me about these Americans that's being murdered here in the city of Chicago. And I'm going to tell you, heads up. I could tell you, I can give you facts. I can give you numbers. I could tell you without pausing. 22 shot, 4 fatally, June 30th. 2 men wounded, drive-by, June 29th. 74 critically injured. 31-year-old, West Rogers Park. 24-year-old, 34th Beach, 4 shot. 60-year-old woman in an arson, burglary. All of these things are public safety issues, but we dealing with them in Chicago. This man has said, Brandon Johnson, I'm going to keep my promise to take ShotSpotter away. You telling me that this tool and wait, his reasoning is, it didn't do the job that it said it was going to do. Humans do a job. Technology is equipment. It's a tool. We do the work. It aids us. That's what it was supposed to do, and it was doing exactly that. And here it is, y'all decommission this tool. Leave Larry Snelling out in the, well, you know what? But y'all did it because it benefits a certain group of people here in the city of Chicago. We see exactly where it's commissioned at. We see exactly the role it plays in that. So now they just had a 19-year-old bleeding out somewhere in the area where ShotSpotter was, which would have got him AIDS sooner than he looked. So what if he would have lost his life? But here we got Brandon Johnson saying, there's no price on public safety. Well, you put it on public safety. You put a price on public safety, but you didn't put a price on the fact that you allow for illegal immigrants to drive through the city, causing destruction. So when they tear up our cars, what happened? We got to wait. We got to come down to city council. We got to fill out paperwork. We got to wait for our reimbursement. And they just get a new car and they carry on. That's what because how did they get the first car?
They'll drop them off. They'll drop their car off and then they'll go jump in another one.
Right. Wow. How did they get the first car?
Our tax dollars. We bought those cars. The first one, second one, third ones. We bought all of those.
Tell it, brother. Tell it.
The cars, the iPhones, the new Jordans, the candy, everything. What about the Americans? Y'all telling me y'all had all this enterprise available for people that's dealing with hard times and we never seen it?
And if y'all want to learn something more about what's really going on in those environments, go to Vega Axis. AXIS. He shows a lot of good stuff of what they plot and plan and try to do as the Venezuelans are coming in here doing their little thievery, stealing, all the stuff. Even when you talked about new gym shoes, they go into a shoe store, they take off their old shoes, put them in the box, put the new ones on and walk out. So you better watch your shoes when you go to the shoe stores now.
So wait. So when you talk about that prosperity, if you go to it's a Ross up there off of Michigan, off of Randolph. Go in there. Predominantly, it's utilized now solely, it seems, by Venezuelans or illegals or whatnot. And these people in there, and that's what I believe they're doing. They're just exchanging things. Because where the resource, where y'all get all this money from? Where y'all getting all this money to do all this shopping? Why do I see American? Why do I see people sleep in the street? Why it's a lady that sleep right down the street from me in the street? Why is she American? She speaks proper English. She seems if she has some type of resources that she'll be in a better state of mind. So why she not being taken care of?
Miss Prosperity. Kimberly Copley just dropped into the live chat and she missed what you said earlier. So let me read her statement. She said Trump kept trying to tell you all. So
Kimberly, who is you all?
I don't
That's
know.
What because is she speaking to Black Americans or is she speaking to
Kimberly? You weren't here, but Miss Prosperity has been conservative for several years. So even if
decades plus,
right, decades.
So don't try to tell me about what Trump was trying to tell me, because see, I was on the Trump before a lot of people got on the Trump, and see, we need to stop that all stuff.
Yeah,
because we all did not vote for this.
I didn't vote for it. I'm just suffering. I voted. Yes. I voted for Trump, but I'm still suffering.
Yeah, we need to stop that. You all of y'all. No, y'all got to stop that, because see, I'm gonna tell the facts. I know what I voted for. I know what my voters registration says. I am under what party I'm in. Yeah. So no, we all did not do that.
We did not. We did not.
Majority. And let me tell y'all something, since you want to start talking about some facts here. Let's jump on this fact real quick. Brandon Johnson got funded from quite a few, and the CTU, being the PAC, they gave him $1,200,000. Okay. So then you got the SEIU International PAC. Brandon Johnson got a $750,000 contribution from them. Then you got the American Federation of Teachers, COP, voluntary AC. I don't know what that is, but that's $600,000. American Federation of Teachers, that was that one. Illinois Federation of Teachers, COP, $500,000 contribution. Let's come on back to SEIU Healthcare, $500,000. SEIU Illinois Council PAC Fund, $500,000. American Federation of Teachers, COPE, another $500,000. Oh,
wait, 1 second, Miss Prosperity. You said SEI what?
SEIU.
So wait, let me say, I'm gonna cut in for I got a video that's on my page with Sia, and it's Sia for Harris. I went up to that 3rd floor and they had a brother as dark as me in a Sia for Harris shirt. I called them out on it. It's on my page. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna actually play it. Go ahead, carry on. Let me look this up. This was ridiculous. Y'all gotta see it.
So
Roland.
Go ahead, Blackson.
No, I was just gonna ask, aren't teachers supposed to be nonpartisan?
Y'all got wait, those are teachers? Those teachers?
Wait a second.
The SEIU?
Okay. Now I'm in the South. You know, we do not have a quote unquote teachers union. However,
I gotta go out of this, y'all. So I gotta show some information. So I gotta get out of here.
I do know.
Or maybe I can go.
In the North, the teachers unions, they run it. They shut it down when they get ready. They call a strike. They tell people what to do. We don't have that here. So, but teachers are supposed to be nonpartisan.
These are all
look, y'all gonna trip out when y'all see this.
Okay, these are the contributions that he has received funding from, and these are teachers, teachers. Yeah. That's why I say I'm gonna bring my FACTS.
Listen, this is one of the wildest things that it's. Y'all carry on, but let me just find this. This is, and I'm like SEIU. I found those people up.
What you get, what you gotta get, and then
and also Tawan, drop the link in the chat for some people to go back and look at it later, please, sir.
Okay, definitely. I'm definitely gonna do that.
Okay.
But this is like
but also I just read an article recently that a lot of new recruits for the Chicago police, they went AWOL, dumped off, said, "See you, Sirenaya, I'm in this mess. I'm out."
Mm-hmm.
In 2024, an officer in his first step, that means the first 12 months, will get paid $58,842, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Let's go up here to the commanders, the deputy chiefs, the first deputy superintendent and the superintendent of police. Superintendent of police, $275,748. First deputy is superintendent, $220 and $220,000 and $260. The chief of police, $212, $664. Deputy chief, $195,192. And the commander, $186,636. Okay, so you hear what they getting paid. This is annually. But the police down here getting paid $58,000, but they the ones got the life on the line.
That part.
But wait a minute. But you're gonna take away my tools, the shot spotter.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna take away. People don't want to interact with the police because they feel, because you got some bad ones out here. I'm going to say it.
Right.
So now it used to be that community involvement where people would talk to the police and tell the police this is what's happening. When the police come around, they didn't have too much concern about what went down. Now it's like people just zipping their lips because they feel like the police are the enemy.
Right.
For those few, few that has caused this, because not all police are like that.
That's right. That's right. Preach.
But yeah, but they're getting $58,000 a year. You know what that equates to? About $26 an hour.
Yeah. Not a lot when you're putting your life on the line every day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or actually 28. Well, no, 29. No, $29 an hour. $29 an hour. That's what it equates to.
Yeah.
So you got to ask yourself, if you want to have better services in your community, in your city, treat these people with respect and pay them with respect.
Right. And you're right. And a little earlier, Miss Prosperity, you said about how you talked about how God is using Trump, and it made me think about Bill Withers' 1972 song. If you remember, yes, I want to spread the news. If it feels it's good getting used, well, you just
keep on using me
until you
don't know about that.
Man.
You don't know nothing about that, youngin.
Oh yes, that's man. My grandmother loved my mom.
That's Bill Withers, 1972, baby.
Say that till you use me up, and that's what they're doing. They want to use the American people up, and they want to keep us confused in that thought too. For all the generosity and for all the kindness, they want to call you a racist. If you have any hangups with what's going on with your taxation, you're a racist.
Of course.
If you have any hangups with what's going on just generally in your community, you're a racist.
Right.
You're a racist.
Trying to make you feel guilty.
And if you don't want nobody coming and trampling all over and trespassing on your property, and you tell them to stay off your effing property, you're a racist.
Right. You're a racist.
So you know what? I got something for them too. Because see, don't nobody come over here and run Prosperity.
You're a racist. Look.
You don't run my property. So if your A is listening to me, hear me good. Woo! You don't come over and use somebody else's stuff without asking permission.
Facts.
Yeah. Check, mate. Because I don't play that.
Truth bomb.
You want to see some nasty? That'll get nasty. Come, you work hard for your stuff, and nobody come over here and tear up your stuff. Get on your property, try to claim your property on top of that, and then tell you what you can and cannot do. Peace in your own home. Oh no, they got this messed up.
Yeah, Paulina, we saw that. Yeah, you're right, Ms. Prosperity. When you are like we were talking about, we paying these high property taxes, along with everything else. Don't come over here. You might not like the results. Okay. So
let me cut in for a second there. Y'all, so check it out. I want y'all to look at this video. So y'all said these people shouldn't be a part of this.
Okay.
But observe how they use this brother. Can you all see? Are they supposed to campaign like this? I don't know. Is that a good view?
Yeah,
I'm seeing it.
This is the low key y'all campaigning for Kamala Harris. Y'all campaigning for Kamala Harris. Y'all campaigning for Kamala. Look at this. Look at this. Low key, how many people here? Voting for Kamala Harris. She got a whole shirt on that say "See her for Harris." They put the blackest glue in it. Y'all, this is some bullshit. I wouldn't wear, look, I'm gonna tell you something, brother. I wouldn't wear that shirt. I would not wear that shirt. I wouldn't wear that shirt. You a token nigga today. I guarantee you a token nigga today. I'm not saying it to disrespect my name. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it to disrespect. No, I'm not calling you a nigga. I'm saying that's they want to present you as a token nigga. They want to present you as that. This is why they got you in the shirt, and then they got it around. Look on the back too. Look, I'm the same color. We was in the room. Say again.
I said, is he in the teacher? He's in the teachers union.
I think so. I'm telling you, I just happened upon this.
Okay.
So they didn't put you in there. Come on, man. Don't do that to yourself, brother. You don't deserve that. My name's I'm just saying, brother. That's crazy. Don't do that. Take that damn thing off. Check that out.
You're not taking it off.
Take the fucking shirt off. They go present you as a token today. Take the shirt off. Then you got no integrity and no honor in yourself or your family or your forefathers. You're degenerate. How's a pride? Don't be mad at me for the right needs. You the one you present yourself as a token. They step into you. They step into you. They mentally step into you. They're presenting you as a token. And you want to fight me. And you want to be mad. So sorry about that. What happened, Roland?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, no. So like I said, that was that group of people. I just heard Miss Prosperity reading out SEIU, and I bumped into, I just happened upon these people.
Okay.
You know, but the brother was, and I seen that shirt, but you know that shirt is a photocopied picture. They already confirmed this. They got this man in a shirt that say Madam President with a photocop with it's the most disgraceful thing. And he wouldn't take the shirt off. He thought I was comfortable. Say again.
I did a video yesterday, Michigan, where was it? There was the Grand Prix race going on, and ABC had it listed that she had won in Pennsylvania. Yeah. The election is not over yet. So
right.
So we know what's going on. Somebody what has something to read to you? Where is it? They said there was a good video. What Alley Cat? Okay, Florida. It was oh yeah. So Alley Cat sent me a text message. I think she was she's still here. But she said that she wouldn't be able to comment or something. So, but I think Allie is recuperating. She was robbed by some illegals, and she was in the hospital. But I think she's recovering. So we're gonna go ahead and do our parting shots. Miss Prosperity, what would you like to say? Parting shots.
Well, we have about 48 hours left, somewhat in that ballpark.
Okay,
and all of us should be absolutely trying to inform many others of what you've learned, what you already know too, that we need to take our country back.
Yes.
The only way to take our country back right now is standing at the voting polls.
Okay, right.
We have been the voices, many of us that have been down at City Hall, that have, and those out in neighborhoods too. I'm not neglecting you all either, because you all have put in footwork as well. But keep specifying and helping people to understand, regardless of how bleak or dim it might look. Sow
Right.
your seeds, because you're not the one that's making the plant grow. Only God is. But when
Facts.
you plant the seeds, you've done a major part.
That's right.
Going to the polls, know what you're going in there to do, because there's going to be other questions that's going to be on the ballots here in Chicago.
Right.
And on those ballots, read those questions with discernment when they ask you if you want to support these tax things that they're talking about, or these poll things that they're talking about. Those questions, they twist them to a degree to help you to become confused and think that, oh, you're going to get a change. But let me tell you about the rich. The rich has loopholes. They know how to get out of any kind of tax matter they want.
Facts.
So when they say that, do you want to tax the rich? Those who are making over $1 million, guess what? Those $1 million people and more, they have accountants and they know the tax laws.
You better believe it.
You don't. So guess what? When the millionaires don't pay it, guess who those taxes coming down to?
We do.
Exactly. So you have to remember that everything that looks gold is not gold. It could be gold plated. It could be brass. Check the content of the character of whom you are getting involved with, because everybody is not who they show or say they are.
Say that.
And I'm going to leave it at that.
Okay. Who else? Who's next? Parting shots. Mr. Tawan?
So I would like to leave it with some scripture and also a few words. So the first scripture is Psalms 1. It would be, blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor stands in the way of sinners, nor sits in the seat of the scornful, but his delight is in the law of the Lord. And in it do he do meditate day and night. He shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of waters. And so when I think of this, I think of a lesson that my mentor, my spiritual mentor, used to take me through when he talked about that tree and he talked about the waters being the people and the tree being a mirror or a picture of yourself, and how you will react in the waters and to the waters, and whether it be a benefit, because he says that bringeth forth his fruit in his season. And we might imagine that season is ours, but it's not. It's his season. It's in the Lord's will. So when I'm looking at Donald Trump, I'm realizing that even though we were deceived in him for so many years, right now he has come to that season when he will be utilized. You know, that his leaf will not wither, and whatsoever he doeth shall prosper. So we looking at these things, but also I look at this, Timothy 5:8. But if any provide not for his own, and especially for those of his own house, he have denied the faith and is worse than an infidel.
Right.
And if many of our representatives would understand that is the root cause of where we're at right now. So many have taken their eyes off of the people to the point where we can say it in numbers. If there's 47,200 and some illegals here now, we'll just read when there was 39,000 so-called migrants, where the federal government gave 143 million and the state gave 80 million and the city corporate fund gave 72 million, along with another 150 million passed by our city council. However, my HMIS number, because I'm homeless still at this point, is 355061. So once again, I read, but if any provide for any, it says, but if any provide not for his own, and specifically for his own house, he have denied the faith and is worse than an infidel. So we realize that we're not dealing with principles and values that we set ourselves upon as Americans, as believers, and that we're wrestling now with something that's more than just political. If we look at it, we observe that our school board, when we look at now, Black students are driving gain in English, but they talk about how so much money has been reserved out of a $9.9 billion school board budget. Chicago only spends $373 million in funding on early childhood education. Out of $9.9 billion, only $373 million in funding is early education. And also it talks about all these different 107, the pension plan, all these issues in which we are now dealing with because we have surely turned away from our values, the values that we should be holding dear to us as Americans. So we can look at it as Black Americans, white Americans, whichever way. However, we still dealing with this as Americans. So as I point out the issues that I'm dealing with as a Black American, and I'm praying that the American people will understand that these are issues that I'm dealing with. So we have to be taken care of in us. Unless we turn our heads away from each other, and we surely going to lose everything. So I'm grateful that Trump has taken this banner up. I'm grateful that he has even chose to come back and do it again, because he is an elderly gentleman. He's an older gentleman now. This is not an easy run. You see what happened to Biden. You see what happened to Biden. You understand that it took him. So I'm just gonna turn it over to that, and I'm grateful. Thank you. Anybody want to follow me? I'm Taiwan Sims. That's TIWON SIMS. It's on all platforms, whether it be TikTok or Facebook. And just come on, supporting the page and supporting the content, because it is all factual truth, and we're fighting over here in Chicago. Thank you for the support.
Thank you so much, Mr. Taiwan. Mr. Blackson, parting shots.
So you guys heard it from the bluest state.
Yeah.
The bluest state in the Midwest. And let me tell you that, they say that, the Democrats need about 80% of the Black vote. So if you got the backbone, Miss Prosperity, Miss Taiwan, speaking in the bluest state, that should let y'all know something. That should let y'all know. And here in Georgia, they say it's one of the largest concentrations of Blacks. We've spoken. We said, no, we don't want Kamala Harris. Nope. So we have spoken. We have spoken in the bluest state. We've spoken in the most red state, the swing state. Black people have spoken. We do not want your Kamala Harris, because your Kamala Harris brings horrible policies. She wants to bring more taxes, and she wants to bring more migrants. Migrants was the last straw for Black people. Just like in Chicago, Chicago was a microcosm of a greater macrocosm. Like, no, we did not agree to this. We did not agree to gymnasiums, the migrants moving in and people crashing into our cars. And no, we didn't agree with none of this. So we've spoken. Don't play with them dang votes. Don't try to cheat mainstream media, because it's not going to end well for you. It's more of us than our view.
Say it.
Say that. Say that. Let's go, America. Let's go, America. Let's go. Go red. Let's go. Enough of this madness. Enough of it.
Against our common enemy. That's what I've been on this channel. We are not at liberty to say Black people over here and white people over here, Hispanic people here, Asian people. No. We have to come together to fight our common enemy, the Democratic Party, because none of us on here voted for them, but we're all suffering from their policies. So let's all come together. We don't know how many people we can influence, even if you get one person. And I tell people, I know some people, they told me, well, I'm not going to vote for Kamala, I'm not voting for Trump either. I'm staying home. I would rather you stay home than vote for Kamala. I don't have a problem.
Where my camera at?
Hey, I'm good with that. I know some people, it's sacrilege to say, you're okay with people not voting, but I would rather you, the couch 2024, a lot of Black Americans are choosing the couch. I know a lot of Black Americans say, oh God, no, if you need to vote. If you're going to vote for Kamala, I'm glad you're choosing the couch.
That's right.
Couch 2024, huh? Couch 2024, huh, bro?
Yes. Yes. So my parting shots, the only thing I wanted to say is this morning before I went to church, I live in Spring Lake, which is right beside Chicago, not Chicago, Fayetteville. I saw Harris Waltz signs everywhere. I did not see Trump. What's his name? I almost said Pence. Now you know I'm going back. Not him. Trump Vance. I saw no Trump Vance signs, so you'll be glad to know I was out putting out signs. I'm sure they're going to remove them, but I still did what I could. So we know what we're up against, but I'm with Miss Prosperity, and I have been saying this for a while now. The providential hand of God is at play in this situation. That's why he saved Trump. And for my some of my subscribers who they get a little antsy, a little anxious, I said I firmly don't believe that God saved him from that bullet only to have her take the presidency. So that's why I'm not concerned. I know they will cheat. That's okay. Whatever happens, there's going to be upheaval. There's going to be turmoil. But that's okay because as Miss Prosperity said, we know who has it all under control. That's not for us to worry about. So I really enjoyed this. It's been very informative. Oh my God, we've had so many people come through. And so make sure those of you, I have a few new people here. Make sure you sub up Miss Prosperity's channel. Make sure you sub up Mr. Taiwan's channel. Also, the Arena Uncensored. Please sub up to his channel as well. They all have excellent, excellent content. And so if you like this content, you're going to enjoy theirs as well. We're all fighting for the same goal. I enjoyed this. You know where I'm going next, to the comment section. And I will talk to you as long as you're there. I've enjoyed this. So I'm probably going to go live Monday, Tuesday. We're going to see. It's going to be kind of hectic. Miss Prosperity, I'll be talking to you. See, what we're going to do for Tuesday. Because me and Blackson already talked. So I said, now I go to bed early. Now I might have to stream up. I may be in the bed. The stream will still be going.
Hey, count me in. Whatever y'all got going, count me in.
So, I go to bed early because I get up at 3 a.m. But I'll still have to stream live. Yeah, I get up early. So, but the stream, you will see the chair and the logo, but I may be DOA. Woo! I've enjoyed this. I always do. And this Prosperity, I talked to you earlier. Definitely, you've got to come back. We've got to discuss and dissect everything that happens on Tuesday. So go ahead and check your calendar because I'm going to be asking when you're coming back. We know your work is not done. Mr. Tawan, thank you so much. I'm glad you could come. We know you're on the battle lines, just like Miss Prosperity. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't let up. Keep your foot on their necks. If not, they will run over you. You already know that. So,
Miss Rhoda, if I can ask, this in the morning, I'm going to be doing a sort of like a blitz. I don't want to let everybody know where it's going to be at, but I will be going live. I'm going to be blitzing the city with just like an informational hit because we got to push this, and I'm really pushing this. So Chicago Red, look for it in the morning. We're going to be doing like a little mad head run at the city. So just kind of look out for it in the morning.
Well, I'll be at work, so unfortunately, I can't participate, but I'll be there.
What time in the morning? What time?
So it'll be between 8 and 9 o'clock. I don't want to say exactly because, like I said, it's people that are really interested in what we're doing out here, and they want to stop that. So I'm trying to keep them off balance,
Yeah, you have a lot of supporters. You really do.
Thank you.
A A lot of us don't necessarily live in Chicago, but it's definitely a worthwhile movement, and we definitely support the grassroots work that you're involved in, and it's definitely making a difference. So I will let everyone go. I enjoyed this. Miss Prosperity, check your calendar.
Chicago Red. Chicago Red. Thank you, guys. Have a good night.
Why her? Shout out.
Chicago Red.
Let's go.
Thank you all. I've enjoyed it.
Take care, you all.
Right. Have a good evening.
Just reach out to me and let me know what you want to do, and I'll make it happen.
I'll talk to Blackson probably tomorrow. We said we're gonna go live, so I'll probably get with him tomorrow and see what he wants to do. And like I said, the stream will be up even after I go to bed.
Yeah, send me a subpoena.
Okay. Yes, ma'am. I enjoyed you both.
Yeah.
I'm not playing with you. Thank you so much.
Y'all. Blessings and love to you all.
Blessings and love to you both. And I enjoyed this, and thank you again for spending your very
So did I. I've always have a great time just even watching YouTube going on and holding it down, because you be holding it down, and that's why I said I'm part of the team.
Yes, most definitely.
All right, take care, you all.
You too. Have a good evening.
Okay, you also.
Mr. Black.
Okay, thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right.
All right, the stream is done, folks. Thank you for your support. And I'll see you all in the comment section. And I'll probably see you tomorrow and Tuesday. Just be checking to see when I'm going live. Love you all. Thank you so much for being here. I'm coming to the comment section now.